Harris aides, White House staff vilified her in book, said she ain't made for this. Isn't that the truth, though? Isn't that the truth? It's definitely showing she ain't made for this. And a lot of the things we've been saying about her over the years, all the things we've been seeing, and the media, some of the media that have been actually criticizing her, the same criticisms are coming from her staff. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. We're gonna talk about this what the aides say in this book. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. Has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account as well, where I put news and videos and stuff out there, especially during the late night when I see stuff, and I'll be posting it out there. All right. So let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from the Conservative Brief from John Dottery, and he reports that a previously published book by progressives focusing on notable figures within the movement was sharply criticized Vice President Kamala Harris during a period of speculation about her potential replacement as Joe Biden's vice president. The book highlighted concerns among White House aides regarding Harris's difficulty in articulating a clear political agenda and her reliance on personal appeal. Again, something that she has been criticized by myself, some pundits in the media as well. Now, as Harris faced a tight presidential race against former President Donald Trump, the book is being revisited 8 months after its initial release. I might have read some excerpts before. I can't remember. I have to go back and look. I might have. I know I've read some excerpts, but I might have actually posted some information from this book 8 months ago as well. But in the summer of 2023, a surge of Democratic leaders, including California Governor Gavin Newsom, began to showcase their leadership credentials amid increasing calls for President Joe Biden to step aside. As the moment faded, scrutiny turned to Harris, with left-wing critics focusing on her historically low favorability rating, as reported by the Daily Caller. And this is another criticism here. How did she go from be one of the worst vice president in history, as far as approval ratings, to being now running for president? Like, I don't understand the rationale behind that. She is very unpopular. I mean, and she's actually losing the black vote. She's actually the cause of them losing the black vote, which is just crazy. Which is just crazy to me. But I'm happy. I'm excited that black people are finally waking up to the games that the Democrat Party been playing on us for years. But enter the truce. Progressive, centrist, and the future of the Democrat Party, released in January. By then, the left had ample time to consider replacing Harris, and arguably, the book provided them with plenty of ammunition to make that case. Again, because a lot of the stuff she's being criticized now, this book 8 months ago alluded to. But, quote, "It was rotten from the start," a top aide from her 2020 campaign noted. A lot of us, at least folks that I was friends with on the campaign, all realized that, yeah, this person should not be president of the United States. Now, these are people that was literally working for her saying this. Hunter Walker and Lupe B. Lupin, wow, look at that name, wrote the book, which was published well before Harris emerged as the presumed successor to the Democratic presidential ticket. Compliments of President Joe Biden. It said, quote, "Camilla is not ready for prime time," a senior White House staffer told the authors. "She ain't made for this." I mean, what more do we need to say? We see the incompetence. We see her going around. That's why she's refusing to do real interviews. She hasn't done like a real press conference where she stand there and answer questions off the cuff without notes, or she doesn't do any of that because her incompetence would show. That's why they keep her hidden away. That's why we are so looking forward to that debate on Tuesday because she won't have no notes there. She won't have nobody there telling her what to say. And she's going to have to answer for herself. She's going to have to answer these policy questions. And she's not going to have any notes to read from to try to answer these questions. But it also features scathing remarks from insiders of her 2020 campaign depicting Harris as a lackluster and ineffective leader with no clear political vision or strategy for governing. Again, this is what we've been saying. This is what she has absolutely. That's why she's not putting forth any real policy issues. And the policy issues that she do come up with, it falls under two categories. Either one, she stole it from Trump, or two, is communist ideals that will hurt this country. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, so these are things that we're seeing right now. Some staffers recounted conflicts stemming from tensions between Harris's family and the top consulting firm she had hired for advice. Staffers described significant dysfunction revolving around the strained relationship between Harris's sister, Maya, who chaired the campaign, and Juan Rodriguez of Barrister Strategies, who was serving as the campaign manager. The rift between Rodriguez and Maya, again, and what is her expertise? Why would you have someone there that don't know anything about politics, and you're gonna allow her to argue with someone whose job for years is to help people with campaigns? Like, I don't know what is going on here. But the rift between Rodriguez and Maya Harris grew so severe that they were forced to work in separate wings of the campaign headquarters and held separate meetings with the staff. That's just crazy. Quote, "It was the most awkward day of my life," a senior staffer told the authors. People were literally having a 30-minute audit meeting with Juan about how the campaign was going, and then they were walking across the hall into the same meeting with Maya. I remember Juan popping into my office to find out how the meeting with Maya went. The dysfunction within the campaign went beyond family dynamics. Staffers reported that mismanagement of funds were a recurring issue, the caller noted further. Said, quote, "She cared less about how much money I was raising for her and more about what I was doing to create a good, inclusive workplace," a consultant told the authors. So again, DEI stuff. She's pushing this DEI stuff instead of trying to get this money. And when Harris withdrew from the primary race in December 2019, she stated that a lack of funds was the primary reason for her decision. So maybe if you wasn't focused on inclusion and focused on doing the getting this money, you wouldn't have had that issue. See, this again boils down to incompetence. But the authors described the money management issue as part of a broader toxic climate within the campaign. In November 2019, State Operations Manager Kelly Mellenbacher resigned, and her resignation letter, which was leaked to the New York Times, echoed this sentiment. So, I mean, we have multiple people saying the same thing about her incompetence. Quote, "This is my third presidential campaign, and I have never seen an organization treat its staff so poorly," she wrote then. So multiple people, because we have refused to confront our mistakes, foster an environment of critical thinking and honest feedback, or trust the expertise of talented staff, we find ourselves making the same unforced errors over and over, she said. And this is why I think her campaign right now is imploding. Again, is because incompetence, she don't know what to do, don't have the right people in place, and they're coming up with these terrible policy ideas because that's why she really doesn't have her own staff says she doesn't have a clear-cut policy. That's why you see in the flip-flops and stuff happening, because she really doesn't stand on anything, it sounds like, coming from her past, people that work with her in the past. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.